Kitty, are you ready for more puzzles?
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But anyhow, hey there, 999 Dango Duo. On the previous episode, Junpei was a shit.
Piece of a shit.
Literally, it's like, no, just put this gun to your temple. It's fine. It'll be funny. It'll be funny, I swear. Oh, thank you, Kitty.
It's a little bit funny. This feeling inside.
You son of a bitch! You tricked us! Then all that stuff you were going on about is all bullshit. Bullshit? I don't think so. Didn't I tell you I'd figure out another way to get out of here? This is it. Why the hell would you do something like this? Junpei glanced at June.
Jumpy.
You did this so you could just go through the same door with June, didn't you? Fucking asshole! Is that it? All you want is her vagoo? Santa was furious. His face was red, and flecks of spit flew from his lips as he spoke. Junpei closed his eyes calmly, and then opened them again.
That's called blinking.
So, who's it gonna be? Santa? Or Lotus and Clover? Shit!
We're going. Clover?
Lotus leapt forward. Motion blur!
Motion blur.
She grabbed Clover by the sleeve and ran for Junpei at the door. Caught by surprise, Santa froze for a moment, and then shot forward like a bullet from a gun. Like, literally, like, woo!
Whee!
Lotus had a head start, but Santa had the advantage in size and speed.
It's because of her bazongas.
It's her bazongas, yeah. Almost immediately, he passed Lotus and Clover.
No. Wait.
No.
No.
Santa did not hesitate. He slammed his hand down on the red. Smack that!
All on the floor.
Smack that.
Give me some more.
This is insane! This isn't right! He glared at Junpei, his chest heaving. Yes, well, you may be right. Junpei's voice was cold. That didn't sound cold at all. But not without effort. He turned to the red and pulled the lever. Pull the lever?
Hit the lever.
I like that you're writing up all this chocolate for the next puzzle. With the sound of metal on metal, the door opened. It would only remain so for 9 seconds. There was no time to think. Go!
Ike!
Junpei and his 3 locked-on companions jumped into the door, escaping mouth, one after the other. No sooner did they enter than an all too familiar noise sounded from their left wrists. You can just skip to this. We have been here before. Oh, yeah. Oh, click on it to make the text go faster.
No,
maybe?
I was just reading it.
Oh.
Because Santa and or Lotus and Clover are sad.
Oh.
And the door closed and they were gone. Alright.
Yep. We've been through this before. You son of a bitch, Junpei. Yeah. Santa rounded on Junpei, lightning crackling in his eyes and his knuckles white. You do realize what you just did, didn't you? You leave them out there, and they can't.
Shut it! That's enough.
It hadn't been Junpei that spoke, but 7.
We got to find Dad or none of this is gonna matter because we're all gonna die. You motherfuckers.
Did you throw that in the can, or did you actually just throw it on the floor there?
I meant to throw
Kitty.
it in the can. I can't reach it.
Alright, I'll get it later, unless you just got it.
It fell again.
Good kitty. The clock was ticking.
Oh, that hurt my boob.
What hurt your boob, kitty?
Leaning over the chair to
Okay,
get the
for a
trash
second I thought me patting you on the head, I'm like, ouch, that hurts my boobs.
Yeah, God.
The dead was their only chance at survival. Unless they could find it and deactivate their detonators, the 4 of them would be...
Kaplooey. We got less than a minute left. No time for screwing around. Get your fucking glasses moving.
They scattered and began to scour the room. The deactivation device was nowhere to be found. Corridors stretched out in 3 directions, but everyone was blocked off by a wall or metal. There was only one way out. The other door. One other door.
There.
7 ran for the door, a rusty iron thing. His large hands grabbed hold of the handle and pulled. The room inside was pitch black. They could see nothing beyond the wall patch of small patch of light that spilled through the doorway. Junpei snuck his head through the door and looked around the room. Almost immediately, he spotted the blinking red light on the right wall. Light.
I found it.
I found it. The dead's right over there. He stepped into the room and nearly fell down. The floor was slippery. What? He stopped and glanced down at his feet. What's with this floor? Was my fan club here a moment ago?
You don't have fan club. What the hell are you doing? Get over there.
I'm imagining him like pulling him by like the brim of his neck,
Yeah,
of his
the collar of
shirt.
his,
Yeah, thank you. He stopped, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Junpei felt Seven's heavy hand against his back and stumbled across the room. The other three piled in behind him. They had all felt immediately that something was wrong. Sorry. They all felt immediately that something was wrong. Nothing could be easily identified, only a sense that something terrible shared the room with them. But there was no time to say so.
Quick! Get to the dead! Get to the chopper!
They all started running. In the dark, it was hard to tell where the wall was. All they could see was a tiny red light blinking at them over and over and over. Then finally, suddenly, they were there. In quick succession, they all slammed their hands against the scanner panel. Smack that.
All on the floor.
Smack that.
Give me some more. We did
Copyright
it.
claimed.
Not again. Oh my god.
Seven leaned against the wall, gulping air.
My god.
As his breathing began to return to normal, he glanced at his left wrist and grunted.
It stopped. It stopped. Oh my god, thank god.
Junpei could hear him laugh. I think this is the closest you have been to actually dying through those circumstances.
Yeah.
This far in the game.
Yes.
But could barely make out the larger man's face. What the...
Ooh,
The sound
delicious.
of wrenching came from Santa's direction. What the fuck is that smell? This is vile! Ugh! I'm gonna puke again!
You already puked it.
So desperate had they been in the race to the dead that no one had noticed the horrible smell that pervaded the room.
You know, maybe it's pervaded. Maybe it's a good thing Clover didn't come in here.
It was a terrible, nauseating stench, like burned and rotten meat. Adrenaline had drowned it out, but now it rolled over Junpei in waves, forcing itself into his nose with every breath he took.
Every breath he takes, he
Every move you
smells
make.
dead.
He felt his stomach clench and bile rise up in his throat.
Let's get the lights on first. There's a switch over, I don't know, here.
The light that spilled in from the door barely illuminated a small switched plate next to the door. Slowly, with the toll of the last few minutes apparent in his gait, Seven walked towards it. Click.
Ah, that's the light.
He stopped as he got close and extended his fingers towards the switch.
Ching.
There was a soft click as the lights came on. It had scarcely faded when another noise pierced the air. A scream. From Santa.
Yes.
Junpei's breath stopped in his throat. His heart ceased to beat.
So he died too.
Time froze. His mind scrambled to make sense of what he saw before him. Can you skip this?
No.
Nah. What was left of a body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat... Okay, this is actually the exact same description. Yeah. Like fresh
Pigs and
spaghetti.
test-
Yeah, we've seen this.
yeah.
You can't skip it, then press F. Just do... You're gonna need both hands for this. Yeah, it's the exact same description.
Looks like an explosion.
Seven's voice was low and strained.
As low as it goes. Just like Ninth Man. The detonator in his bracelet set off bomb in gut. They don't know who it is, though.
It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful. His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his arm. Blah 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 blah. Raw
Tomato
pizza.
sauce.
Oh, tomato. Gonna get that tomato sauce. Is that Snake? Santa's voice wavered as he spoke, his mouth dry. As opposed to our mouth, which is all watery with thoughts of pizza. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Finally, Junpei spoke. Oh my god.
They exploded him, and now they're gonna explode me.
Oh my
god.
Perfect. Why did this happen? Suddenly June was screaming, her voice broken. It was an eerie scream full of insanity, and not entirely human.
Maybe this was a bad idea.
Eh.
Well.
See, there is no better bonding experience than finding a corpse together, Kitty. June and Junpei, like, their social link just leveled up. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's a dead body! Ching.
That I am thou, and thou art I.
No!
And Junpei's like, yeah, now we're this close to actually banging. She shook her head violently and grabbed fistfuls of her own hair. Junpei could hear the sound of her hair tearing. No, not the beautiful hair! Stop it, June! He grabbed for her wrist, but as he did, June leapt up and ran towards the exit. Oh.
Please get me out of here! You have to let me out of here!
I was picturing her like kicking the door, like doing like combos. She screamed at the door and her fist slammed against it with a hollow sound. Junpei could see drops of blood on her knuckles. Yeah, she's not taking it very well.
Why are you doing this horrible things to us? What did we do to deserve this?
She screamed again, a desperate, mindless cry. Her fists flailed against the door. Lure.
I thought these were chairs at first, too.
Little chairs.
Chair. R. Get me out of here, please! Please just let me out!
Junpei couldn't watch anymore. He ran to June and wrapped his arm around her, pulling the screaming girl away from the door.
Into the pizza mess.
Hey there, it's okay. Here, let me hold your boobs for support.
I got you. No, get off of me! Let me go! Let me go!
She screamed for a moment. She scrambled for a moment, her legs skittering across the floor, but her resistance didn't last long. As suddenly as her outburst had begun, it was over. The manic energy disappeared, and her body went limp in Junpei's arms. Junpei's enormous, rippling with muzzle arms. June collapsed towards the floor, and Junpei knelt down with her, cupping her breasts for support. He felt drops of something warm and wet.
It was her boobs.
Why are her boobs wet? Was she crying? I mean, boobs do get sweaty. A moment later, she began to sob.
Aww.
Aww. Her shoulders shook, and great hot tears rolled down her face like rain. We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be alright, June. It's going to be okay. Canny?
Oh, shit, that's her name.
Well, that's right!
Her name is...
Her name was a whisper. I'll be here with you, okay? She nodded once.
Thank you.
Oh, because Akane, that's right.
That's right. Thank you so much, Jumpy.
Oh, her trembling voice pulled at Junpei's heart. He stroked her hair gently. His face was so close to hers. The scent of her hair was nostalgic. Do you feel better?
No! I mean, yeah. But I'd like to stay here. For a little while, at least.
In this corner.
Jumpy's body is so warm.
His erection rubbing against the back of her. It's like it's pushing her away. Several minutes passed before Junpei's erection finally settled down, and Jun's tears had dried.
And they coincide with each other. She's like, please stop.
You know nothing turns me on more than tears, June.
Oh, God.
Junpei stood up. He bent down, put his arm under June's, and helped her to her feet. I'm sorry.
Whoop. Here we go.
They didn't speak. It was kind of awkward with the erection and everything.
You guys know we all saw that. We all saw your raging erection.
Ah, it was gross. Neither did Seven or Santa. A person was dead.
Yeah. They
had died in that room in a terrible way. Junpei knew there was no way he could make himself forget that. There was no way any of them could forget it, but mourning would do no good. They spread out to search the room, but each felt as if their heart was made of lead. So, I'll be real with you. You only need to do this puzzle once.
Oh.
That's why I don't remember what the fuck we're supposed to do.
Oh, Lord.
Thankfully, we're both in that together. We're both in this together.
I hate puzzles and learning them.
Those letters written in blood.
That's
LLR. Do you know that might make some sort of dying message from Snake?
No, that's impossible. You saw the body.
Yeah.
You aren't going to do something like that after that happens to you.
Then this...
The way the blood dried tell you it's real old. Whoever blood this is, it ain't Snake.
I thought it's Shake.
Oh, yeah.
What if his name was Shake?
Solid Shake.
Then you're saying this blood was put here a long time ago?
Yeah. It not wash off.
I click on the spot next to the... Oh, actually, no, wait, we have to wait.
That's where we came in. I guess it's not locked, but that ain't really any point. All that's out there is numbered door. We can't go back through numbered door even if we want to.
The divider between the stalls. On the other side of this wall... No, I don't want to think about that.
Let's shower.
Alright, let's see if anything happens when I turn you. Nope, I'm really bad at turning anything on. Not even a drop. What the fuck is... Okay. Is the pipe clogged? Alright.
With blood.
There's a piece of paper tied to this pipe of wire. Notice, drainage, valve operation. Please do not flush the water in these pipes. I'll tell you what the solution is, because we don't want to be here.
Okay.
And I don't remember. Actually, we have to get a couple of items first.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. You don't want to worry about this just yet.
Alright, so...
you need to worry. Yeah, those are all shut. Keep inspecting. Huh, I already checked all 3 toilets, you know. Nothing unusual there.
Yeah, he checked him because he was throwing up in them. Yep. About down the drain. You always look at the drain. It looks like a card. Like a key card? I wonder if we can get to it somehow.
I don't think so. So, you know, we're gonna have to get some, like, a little bit of rope.
And some chewing gum.
Some gum.
What's that from?
I think it's just, like, point-and-click adventure game stuffs.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like what I remember it from is, like, Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Okay, yeah.
They tried to get a quarter from the sewer.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's too deep, I can't reach it. So, you need to get the water to overflow so you can get that card. But before that, you also need a code. Blah, you can do that. Nothing happens, because you also need a card to turn that on again. Check the other set of stalls.
I wanted to do 999.
You can't even... Kitty, you first need to slide a card before you can even enter that. See? Okay, so, turn to the left. Check those stalls.
There's a pot.
Ooh.
I got the bucket.
Is there anything in the bucket? Inspect the bucket.
It's a tin bucket. Hey, Jumpy. Do you remember back in elementary school when you spilled all of our paint across the whole classroom? They made you clean it up, and all they gave you was a sponge and a bucket like this.
Hey, come on now. I'm super triggered right now. Can't we just leave the past in the past?
No. And a broom. That'll help us get the thing out.
Oh, time for a flashback.
Oh.
Junpei reached for the broom, and as he grabbed it, he heard a soft voice from behind him. It was June.
The rabbit hutch.
Oh, time for plot. Huh? He turned around. June still looked sadly pale, but there was a smile on her face.
I'm ignoring the dead body that's right near me. Oh, you just reminded me of it. The rabbit hutch, I mean.
How did it remind you of something like that?
Jumpy and the broom. You were always playing around with the broom in front of the rabbit hutch.
I was?
Don't you remember?
Junpei stared at the broom in his hand.
You mean you don't remember that summer either?
She looked very sad. He shook his head. Of course I remember. How could I forget something like that? It was terrible. Oh, are we gonna get a sad theme? They were in the 6th grade. June and Junpei had been assigned to take care of the classroom pets.
Oh.
The wabbits.
The wabbit season.
Their chief duty was to clean the hutches every morning. On the final day of school before summer, wow, that must be a great way to start your morning, just cleaning bunny shit.
On the final little pellets, they're easy to clean.
On the final day of school before summer vacation began, Junpei overslept. He rushed to the school and found June standing in front of the rabbit hutches.
Aww.
No sooner had Junpei arrived than June began to cry. He had no idea why until he looked behind her and the rabbit hutch. Are we gonna finish this, or you wanna leave it on?
Yeah, let's finish it.
The first thing he saw was blood. The hutch was filled with the dead bodies of the wabbits. Wabbitses. Even after their teachers and friends came to see what the commotion was, June could not stop crying.
I just kept crying and crying until you came over. You held my hand and you looked very serious and you said, "Don't cry, I'm gonna catch the person who did this.
And I'm gonna kill them before your very eyes."
Yep. After you finally told me that, I stopped crying.
Well, the real fun started after you quit crying. You told me you were gonna catch the killer. We were gonna catch the killer together. June smiled, and a little of the flush of life returned to her cheeks.
Then we decided we'd ambush them.
Yeah, I remember. We had knives and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one of the best songs in the game. And it comes back in the other games too. The school also kept roosters and guinea pigs. Junpei and June had decided the murderer would likely return to finish off the rest of the animals. They would ambush the killer at night.
At night?
Junpei and June. That's a SpongeBob reference. Hid behind the hutch at dusk and waited.
Oh,
look at that cute girl. Cutie. It was a warm summer night. The quiet sound of crickets whispered through the air. As the sun went down, the stars began to wink at them from the sky. And June's Akane Kuroshiki's face. That night was something Junpei knew he would never forget, as long as he lived. It was the night of his first erection. But the murderer never showed up. We waited for them all summer vacation, and they never showed up.
Yeah, but the animals didn't get attacked either. I think that all that work amounted to something, you know?
He had felt the same way, but it was good to hear her say it. Although, you know, if you think about it, we were probably taking on a lot more than we could handle.
Oh, what do you mean?
She looked at him, confused. Looked up at him. Well, come on. We were just kids. If whoever killed the rabbits had actually showed up, they probably would have had a knife or something. I mean, you must have been pretty worried, right?
I wasn't worried. Because you were there with me.
She blushed furiously!
That's some furious blushing.
Just splashing. Oh, the floor's all wet. Oh, God, why is it...
You know, no one else wanted to take care of the animals.
Clearly embarrassed, she tried desperately to change the subject.
I was the only one who asked to do it at first.
Yeah, boys don't really want to bother with taking care of animals, you know?
Well, yeah, but you asked to do it after I did, didn't you?
If it wasn't the rabbits, they were gonna make me do something else. You know how that school was and stuff. I figured it would be better if I was working with someone who wasn't much of a loudmouth, right? Somebody who wasn't gonna tell me if I felt like blowing it off.
Really? That's why you volunteered?
Yeah, it is. I'm an asshole. He nodded quickly and much too earnestly, and then quickly looked away at something very important. That hadn't been the reason, of course. He had asked to take care of the rabbits, so that he could be near June.
Yeah, you never tell a girl you like her.
Yeah, it makes you look like an idiot. But it had been so long. He couldn't bring himself to tell her how he had felt back then. It would be embarrassing. Yeah.
So embarrassing.
Yeah, it's embarrassing after I rubbed my erection against your back for like 10 minutes. He took a quick breath to clear his head, tossed the broom up, and then snatched it up out of the air. Well, we don't really have the time to be walking down memory lane like this, you know? We've got to figure out a way out of this room, otherwise...
Yes.
June nodded curtly, then turned and walked away. Junpei turned around and looked at the room, at Snake's body.
Or what remained of it.
Chunks of flesh and organs lay still on the floor. The conversation he and June had been having scarcely fit their surroundings.
Well, kind of did. There was bunny murder.
Yeah. But perhaps that was simple human nature. Despite such a situation, or perhaps because of it, the mind turned to the farthest thing from death that it could find.
Animal
death. Still, Junpei couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt at wanting so desperately to live when Snake lay dead before him. He had to live. He wanted a life again, a life with June in it.
Gay.
As he stared at the clumps of blackened flesh, he wanted nothing else but to stick his penis into the depths of her
vagina,
tender vagoo. All Junpei could think of was how much he wanted to live. And on that romantic note, thank you for tagging along. We're Dango. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Kitty, what's your fucking plan? Alright, Kitty.
I'm gonna mop up the pizza accident.
Pizza? We already have an episode called Pizza Accident.
Yeah,
Videos on the screen. Subscribe. We're Dango Duo.
I was referencing that video.
Yeah, that's a good video. Thank you for tagging along, and we hope to see you. They can't hear that.
Next time. Furiously clicking to combine.